Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another Friday Star Wars. I am the Ravnos Archon. My name is Will, and I'll be the storyteller this evening. And as an added bonus, tonight, if you're watching live, we are participating with McStabber Studios in their National Breast Cancer Foundation fundraising event, Game Pink, for all of October. So if you are in chat and you have the means, please hit !NBCF to bring up information about the National Breast Cancer Foundation, or hit !donate to bring up the donation link and help out with the fundraiser event. With that out of the way, where last we left off with our intrepid crew, we were missing a Dr. Shakti, and today we are missing Dr. Shakti and we are missing Eedee, but their story we will get to. We picked up the last episode with Eedee meeting Master Yoda, seeing some of the council members, meeting with Dooku pre-fall to the dark side, and discuss the situation that happened on this lost planet with the Kyber crystals, the Vergethan, and their connection to the Force. Nella revealed that one of the captains in the capital ships shot at the Zotsec, destroying it outright. And they were also told that although Captain Callix Maies acted in accordance with the rules of engagement based on the Republic, because of the danger of flight associated with one of the wanted criminals in the crew, he was within his rights to shoot the ship down. It didn't go over well with Flid. It didn't go over well with Silas. And although Doman did try to alleviate the situation by explaining that he would go to bat for them to try and make sure that they got a ship replaced, tensions were high, I think, that episode. We learned a little bit about Eedee and what path he took coming out of the Jedi Academy. He sat down, meditated with Yoda himself, kind of took a look at what life would be for the crew moving forward without him. And then, after a lengthy process of atonement where Master Yoda did not leave his side, and where he awoke to being surrounded by Jedis like Dooku, like Nella, like Doman, and so many others on the Jedi Council, it was reassuring to know that regardless of how far one falls, there are members of the light side that can help you come back. No one is lost forever. Dr. Shakti and Aquila ended up in the Halcyon, which is Yoda's flagship, where the crew saw that young Aquila had made a friend in the form of one young human boy named Qui-Gon Jinn. Flid was taken to an interrogation room after charges had been brought up against him and Silas, where they saw that Ruldu, the Voiceless, as he was called, was complaining about being attacked. And after a tirade about how he finds Flid's appearance rather disgusting, he was offered a place on the ship. And after some deliberation and some demands that were not met and not going to be met, he begrudgingly agreed to join this crew, anything to get off the planet. And we left off with Eedee and Dr. Shakti heading to Coruscant, finish and to start, really, their Jedi training. The temple that had been pulled up into the air pulsed with a red kind of crimson glow before suddenly disappearing entirely from this plane of existence and taking the atmosphere of the planet with it, creating a barren husk of a world in its wake. But on the other side of the world, on the other side of the galaxy, already rocketing in their new Gitrok freighter, which still doesn't have a name. We saw Silas, Flid, and Ruldu blasting away towards Beyontul 6 to try and help their friends. And although we find them on the ship, for us as audience members, 2 years have passed. And in a bit of an upset to the Jedi Council, once they arrived on Coruscant without need of trials, Nella was granted the position of Jedi Knight, and much to the shock of the Council, her request to be her own brother's teacher was allowed by Yoda himself. And so Nella is also part of your crew. The ship has been part of hit and run tactics. There has been an upset in the kind of hierarchy of Beyontul 6. The mining colony has started to take over the majority of the planet. Farmers Guild has been relegated to secondary status. And although Auric did end up in a Republic prison, the other members of your little community, Jiks, Illis, Raceup, and Sewa, after she got out of the hospital, have all kind of helped to create a lifeline to get people out of the planet if they want to. Callix Maies was brought up on charges against the fundamental use of force in situations that did not call for it. Some of his previous record has been brought up, including an incident on Bespin that he would have liked scrubbed. And that's thanks to a young woman named Riley Gent, who some of you might remember, some of you might not. But we find the ship in hyperspace right now. It has been 2 years since you last saw Dr. Shakti or Eedee or any of the other denizens of the Vergethan's planet. Callix Maies has gone to ground, and although the talk is that he was reassigned to a Black Ops branch of the Republic, the truth of the matter is that he is running. He knows he's being hunted, and he's doing his best to kind of keep on the move. You so far have been, at best, 2 steps behind him. But now you're heading back to an outer world planet where it is believed that he has hidden himself amongst the underworld element there. People say that it's easy to get lost in the sands of Tattooine. This is something you hope to disprove. Where do we find Flid currently? You're 3 days out from arriving on Tattooine.
Flid.
What has changed in the 2 years since we've seen him?
Oh man, Flid is interesting. Flid is those 2 years he's been training Silas, voiceless, getting in tip-top shape, losing the dad-bod. He's no longer just wearing an apron, the apron or anything like that. He's wearing a jumpsuit now, like like a pilot, like one of those cargo jumpsuits. All that still has the little salt and pepper goatee. Still wears his beanie. Um, and now you see him always with a blaster pistol on his hip. He hasn't used it or fired that pistol since he shot his quote unquote wife, droid wife, whatever you want to call her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's 2 years have really changed him, and his experience overall prior to those 2 years. I hope see what Flid is now and this new chapter.
Okay. Where do we see Silas throughout the last couple of days of this long journey into the far reaches of the Outer Rim?
Well,
And what has happened in those last 2 years?
well, a lot. Now Nella and I have actually been able to rekindle, some our relationship, that was taken from us, which has put me more at ease into accepting the ideas of the Jedi and coming to terms that maybe I was mistaken because of the situation, and I've accepted the training, and I've been training with her during that time. At the same time, I've become more meditative, more I've become I'm still quiet, but I've become a lot more focused. And I've over the last, I want to say, few months, I've been really focused on making sure Flid gets trained and gets improved, and that he becomes better and more equipped, aside from just being a chef, to handle the world. You know,
Yeah. He's not Steven Seagal yet, but he's on his
right?
way.
Yeah, he's not stopping Gary Busey from
Not at all.
and Tommy Lee Jones from taking over any type of ship anytime soon.
Yeah,
But
no. But if there was a train, he could definitely handle himself.
he's got the train part down. Yeah,
Yeah.
he can go into dark territory. That's cool.
Yeah. Uh, do you think that you have still held on to the belief that a blaster is the best weapon? Or do you think that you have fashioned yourself a lightsaber at this point?
I think having been, because I've been training with Nella basically for over a year, I'm assuming, right? Based on what you're telling me.
Yeah. The better part of almost a year and a half now.
I would like to think that at first I was hesitant because I was like, no, but I've learned about this other technique, blaster that worked alongside with the Jedi for blasters.
Mhm.
But I kind of caved and started seeing, thinking back to what I was able to do with the vibro rapier in that cave and stuff like that. Well, maybe it's good to be multifaceted in my abilities.
Yeah.
So I would have accepted that training. And then the thing is with me is once I get into a training for some kind of weaponry, I go all into it. So I still would be doing both, especially I would take that time working with Flid to also work on myself and
Mhm.
make sure I'm still got my skills honed up and stuff like that. But then when I'm with Nella, it's all about that. Sometimes I may even would have had Flid shoot at me, and I would practice deflecting
Oh,
with the saber.
nice.
Once I felt confident enough for it,
Yeah.
or
Good to have that.
I knew he wasn't that great of an aim at first, so I knew I wasn't in too much
Yeah.
danger.
Yeah.
In other words, you cheated.
Yeah. Stack the deck. Uh, what do you think your lightsaber hilt looks like then?
um, I would think that I would try to make it look as similar to my blaster as possible,
Hmm.
almost like an extension of it. Same kind of tones, same kind of metal colors. I may have at some point either done it rudimentary myself, or if we were somewhere that I had access to, had somebody etch the blade as well with I'm trying to remember in my notes what I had written on the last time. on
Oh,
the barrel of the gun. I have to look for that in my notes, but
yeah.
I would probably have that etched as well.
Okay, into the emitter disc.
Just because it's just because I found Nella, and it's like it doesn't mean that message isn't still relevant.
Mhm.
So I feel like it wouldn't be like a super Dooku curve, but I feel like the Dooku curve looks enough like a blaster
Yeah.
that it would feel comfortable in my hand, like the handle of a blaster. So I would have some kind of a curve to it.
Okay. Uh, I was thinking that you might have repurposed your vibro rapier,
Oh, that's actually
but
that would make more
that
sense.
works.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's your lightsaber. You envision it however you want.
I would have given the vibro rapier to Flid
Okay,
since I'm teaching him how to use it.
man, he's
So yeah, I guess I'll carry the blaster pistol, the two knives, and that vibro blade.
yeah. All you're missing now is that captain's hat and a long coat and a monkey.
That's it.
Oh,
And a
That's it.
sleeve gun.
I want a monkey.
I mean, Barnaby counts as a monkey.
I mean, yeah.
So
Question,
Yep.
Jim. So our crew right now is us two, you, and right?
you have you, Silas, Ruldu, Nella, and you have
Me.
Dr. Shakti's brother. Let me find you his name for you.
Wasn't it Drox?
I think it might have been Drox. No, or was Drox not the one that
I think that was that was somebody else.
yeah, Drox, because Ingo is the one that was the scumbag.
Our crew is now Captain Flid.
Oh, look at this guy, Captain Flid.
I know, bro.
Captain Chef Flid.
Yeah.
Silas, my in command always.
The captain's making the sausage, bro.
Yeah. Just whipping that sausage around like a helicopter.
Need a name for our ship, Jeff.
We got to think about that.
Yeah.
We got to think about that. We need some time to think about that.
Yeah, because it's been 2 years and it's like we still have no name.
It's rough.
That's the best way to be
rough.
undercover, bro.
It is. Jiks has pulled some strings and got himself a ship, and he's taken Illis, Auric, after they broke him out of prison, Sewa, and
this is Jigs.
this is Jiks, yeah.
Got I'm sorry, run that by me. Who does he have up?
He has himself as the captain. Illis is his navigator / communications officer. And he has Auric and Sewa.
Frick.
Yeah.
And that's his crew.
Yeah, and Raceup will bounce between ships. Currently, he's with Jiks right now. But Jiks has called his ship the Maelstrom.
The Nailstrom?
The Maelstrom.
Oh.
Yeah, he is.
I got that better name. You hear that, Joe?
Yeah.
He is in a point now where docile, old kind of farmer Jiks is no more, and after everything that's happened to him, he's kind of gotten his edge back. He's the one that's kind of funneling information to your crew.
Right, man. I like our crew. Our crew is like a bunch of pretty much we're a bunch of kick-ass people now.
I mean, Drox is in a wheelchair. Ruldu has gotten better at not vomiting in your presence.
All right. Upgrade.
And then you have a Jedi Knight, a Jedi in training that it was a gunslinger, and then you.
Barnaby.
And Barnaby.
Distinguishing features does Ruldu have again? And like start making fun of him back also because now Flid doesn't stay quiet.
Nice. Ruldu is very pale by comparison to the rest of his species. Like he's almost an albino, but he's not like powder white. He is a very light gray color. His eyes are segmented almost like a goat's eyes. You know how they have that weird kind of barbell shape to their eye? The pupil?
It's kind of creepy. That's creepy to a lot of people.
Yeah. He's got a kind of forehead ridge that goes up almost like a Klingon, like a classic Klingon. He's got the weird wolfman legs where they walk on the ball of their feet and the back of the foot is elongated to look like they have a backwards knee. And he has 4 fingers on his hands. No real hair.
I feel like Flid would have gotten to the point where anytime he says something, he just slaps him.
And Flid is still a pacifist at heart. He rather negotiate before relying on his pistol or violence.
I see Flid as being that passive-aggressive kind of man, where it's like if something is said, especially like at the dinner table, Flid just starts to move all the spices or all the condiments like further away from whoever said it.
He's not like before. He would like pretty much kind of a pushover. Not anymore. Now he's like,
Yeah.
He's been stepping up. He even stepped up to Norman when he found out about the ship getting blasted out of the sky and shit.
Yeah, you're I'm not finished yet has been a new quote of yours. I'm not done. But 3 days pass without incident and you drop out of hyperspace and you can see this yellow-orange world of just endless desert. The twin suns in the center of this binary system. The other worlds of the system are just inhospitable in any stretch of the imagination. One of the further out planets just looks like a cratered pock mess of all the asteroids that have impacted against it over the centuries, over the millenniums. There are 3 cities that you can land at as far as Tattooine is concerned. You have Mos Espa, Mos Eisley, and I forget what the third one is because no one ever goes there.
That's where we want to go. No, I'm just kidding.
The largest port obviously is Mos Eisley. It is the hub of where information comes in and out of. You have learned from Jiks that although there is no Republic presence here, Republic troopers have been spotted walking the streets of Mos Eisley. Some were seen in Mos Espa. It's interesting considering that although there is no formal government on the planet, everyone knows that the person in charge and the person that you would need to do anything as far as the planet is concerned is Ibrek the Hutt.
Well, I mean, if the center of all the information is Mos Eisley, we may want to just go to. I think that might be the solid point to go to. That's my opinion, but you're the captain.
Mos Eisley it is.
Okay. Ruldu gets on the communications and radios down that you'd like to land, and you are ushered over to landing pad 9. It's on the far side of the city, on the eastern side. There's only one other landing pad near it. Otherwise, it is pretty isolated. Landing, you will see that there are a couple of Ugnaughts that kind of hurriedly come over. They start to point at some of their pit droids, some of their repair droids, and they start asking you in their guttural language if you want things done to your ship, cleaned, refueled, restocked, things like that.
It's you, Captain.
Coin? Do we have? I mean,
The ship itself has about a bank of 1,000 credits.
sure. Okay.
How much is it? How much would it to be refueled?
For just refueling, it'll come out to 220 credits.
Let's do. We don't need any maintenance because we have refuel and stock up on supplies, I guess.
Okay. That'll come out to 450 then.
And you said we have how much?
1,000.
What can I put this? Notes.
So from $10, it costs you $4.50.
1,000 credits.
Yep.
Now, subtract how many? Almost
450.
I can note of that.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna figure out where I can put my credits. And
Yeah. The Ugnaughts kind of nod. They smile, and they get to work with their droids. And you see them bringing over like these heavy hoses. Drox is going to stay on the ship. You see Nella slide her lightsaber from the front of her belt to a rear clip, so it hides a little better in her clothing and in her cloak. The time that you arrive is mid-morning. The twin suns are already pretty high in the sky, and it is hot. Both of you live in Miami, so just imagine what a day must be like right now, and then multiply it by 3, and that's how hot it is.
Wow. Okay. So we die as soon as we walk outside. Got it. Cool.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I don't wanna get
Session
off
over.
Yeah, like
I don't wanna get all this shit.
whereas Miami is like maybe 4 or 5 blocks from the sun, you are now clearly 2 or 3 blocks from the sun.
We're in the efficiency of the sun.
Yeah.
Dude, you might wanna stay for the ship.
Who are you talking to?
Ruldu.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
he kind of looks around. It is hotter than whatever devil came up with your species. I agree.
Oh,
I'll be
Your
happy
big
to
four-
stay
your
on the
big-
ship.
stay on the ship because your big forehead won't be able to keep you under the shade that long either.
Oh.
He nods and he's just like, whatever you say, Captain. And you see him just mosey back up the ramp.
Well, let me ask you: Does Nella make me wear the Jedi robes?
No,
Okay, good.
no. She does wear them.
Okay.
And you see that as Ruldu kind of walks up the ramp and past Drox holds up his data pad, and you see that there are 2 names at the top, Ruldu and Flid, separated by a long line, and there's just tally marks as to when somebody gets a leg up, and you just see him just mark 1 for Flid.
Ding.
But he nods and he spins around and brings the ramp back up. Nella looks at the two of you. I'm going to see what options there are for our kind, and she kind of points to you and her. Try not to get into any trouble.
Yes, Nella. I'm master. Sorry. Still getting used to that.
Don't call me that.
Master.
Don't call me that. And she brings her hood up and starts to walk into the crowd.
That's a Star Wars sitcom if I ever saw one. Don't call me that, but you are my master.
Yep.
Oh, you don't like it when I call you master?
Super weird.
Big sister doesn't like to be called master. Or little sister.
Little sister.
Big sister. Little sister. Little sister.
Little sister.
I look at. I'm before I could say anything. She like walks away, so I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I was gonna. Do you need me to go with you? No. Cool. Okay. Do I have any problems on Tattooine?
You.
Or Silas or one of my aliases?
There. Do I have the full comprehensive list of aliases? Is the question.
I believe I gave you like 6.
Yeah.
I think. I believe that would be it all.
Okay. No.
Okay. But you see Flid sees me stop, and I'm like, Tattooine. Is it that accent, or is it that one, or which one how did I talk here?
How do you keep track of all this, Silas?
And I go, wait, no, we're good. We're good. Clearly I don't, but we're good. We're good.
You sure? You're sure there's nothing, we don't have to worry about anything here on Tattooine?
I mean, there's things to worry about on Tattooine, but my exploits are not one of them.
That's one less thing we have to worry about.
You're pretty sure that your Russian persona was the last one here,
Okay.
and he didn't do anything stupid.
Okay. And it's been a long time, so they might not even remember my Russian persona.
Yeah.
Okay. So where to, Captain?
I guess we head to the intel that gave us in Jiks. Okay.
There is a bar called the Broken Blaster, where it is said that some of the Republic soldiers have been seen the most.
Sorry, and Will, just refresh my memory. We were sent here because Jiks gave us the intel. It was for what again? Sorry, because I just completely blanked out.
Jiks was here before. He had stayed in Mos Eisley, and he has been trying to find where Callix Maies is hiding.
That's right. Okay.
The thing is that nobody's willing to give up Maies, but there's been a lot of Republic presence in Tattooine recently.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Even though the Republic has no business being this far out.
Right.
It's Maies, right?
Yeah.
Are we in good standings, Republic, or are we still wanted?
No, because of Nella and the fact that Dr. Shakti and Eedee are now Jedis as well. Certain events of your past have been expunged from your records.
Yeah, remember, you're walking with a Jedi now, bro.
I'm apparently I've been surrounded by Jedis this whole time.
So here's the thing. We can go to the Broken Blaster, or he did mention that the hut is basically the purveyor of all the information. In and out.
Broken blaster. I don't. A big fan of the huts.
Okay. I like pizza. Okay. We. You're delicious. Spaceballs reference.
Yep.
I'll start walking towards the blaster then, whatever the captain says.
Yep. You head over, and as you're walking the streets, you can see that it is just an amalgam of races. There's weird, different things that might be bipedal, that might be quadrupedal, some things that are hovering in midair under some kind of propulsion that you can't even begin to start to really science in your mind about. You see out of one of the junkyards this blue and yellow creature with this elongated nose just kind of floating in midair, its tiny wings working overtime to hold its bulbous body in the air.
Oh god.
And you just see it kind of look at the two of you. Hey, you looking for goods?
We information.
I might got some of that. What's it look like?
I walk over and I stop screaming. And I'm just like, looks like it's a specific shape. It's in the shape of Callix Maies.
You see he kind of hovers down to about your chest height and then comes back up to your eye level, and he's like, "Oh, that's expensive information."
So how expensive are we talking about?
He kind of takes a big long sniff of the air around you. You smell like you got Republic credits, and those aren't taken here. I don't have a need for Republic credits. But if you're willing to do work, you got a ship?
Negative.
What kind of work?
Are you wearing your lightsaber on the open?
I have it kind of hidden, but
Okay. He looks the two of you up and down. You look like you got some young strapping muscles there.
in fact, Will, I'm gonna have a holster fashioned that I can have access to both of them.
Okay.
Oh, that's nice.
So depending on the situation, I can just be like whoop or whoop.
Okay. And he kind of floats over to Flid, and he starts to kind of he gives you a couple of squeezes on your bicep. Oh yeah, that's not first class or anything, but it'll do you.
And like my friend, what kind of work?
I got a guy owes me money. He's on the other side of town. Name's Callix. Yeah, he runs an underground boxing ring. Although it ain't boxing, if you know what I'm saying. You bring me what he owes me, I might give you the information you're looking for. If it's shaped like how you say it's shaped.
No. You see, this is how it works. You don't might give us something. You will give us something. And I look him dead in the eyes.
He spits on the ground in front of you. This your first time on Tattooine, boy?
I look at him. I look down at the ground, and I'm like, "Oh, It looks like you dropped something. And I bent down and I popped the lightsaber out a little bit right in front of him. And I'm like, oh, you spilled something.
He floats back about a good body length distance. What's Jedi doing out here?
And
Gonna cost you.
I go like that, like I was about to say something. I go,
You see this creature, this Toydarian, just kind of start to scratch his chin. All right, I could probably sell what you're here for more than what Callix Maies is worth, so you got a deal.
so if we get you the money, what he owes you, you will tell us the information.
And if you throw in while you're here,
Think about that second part.
We may do that second part, but we will do what we can to get that first part for you. And if we do get that first part, we'll definitely give you that first part for the information. The second part, that's a we might. And I do his accent. We might.
there's a big smile that comes over his face. He's like, you drive a
And I
hot
spit
bargain,
on-
kid.
And I spit on the ground.
But it looks like I taught you well. You got a deal.
Shake on it. I shake on it with him.
Yeah, his little hand feels like rubber,
Okay.
like gummy worms in your hand.
Well, Callix, who should we send their regards in collecting the money?
Oh, you can tell him that Ruldu sent you. And he kind of points up at the sign of his shop that says Ruldu's Junk.
I heard Wattos is better prices. Anyway.
I mean, maybe once he's born, he might have better prices.
Right. Yeah. I know. I still think we should, and I turn around, I nod to him, start walking away. I go, let's go to the Broken Blaster first.
I agree. So Silas, I did pretty good, right?
You're impressing me, Captain. You've come a long way, my friend. I'm
Every now,
proud of you.
every now and then, Flid like seeks his teacher's approval every now and then, but pretty much he's much more confident than before.
You just might survive. And I smirk, and I just start walking.
Okay.
Go
ahead.
Sorry, before we go in, I just message Nella and just let her know we have one potential lead, but I tell her where we're headed in case she needs to look for us, that we're going to the Broken Blaster.
You hear heavy breathing and the sound of physical exertion, and you hear something break in the background. And then she comes on. She's like, "Okay, good. I noted it. I will be there as soon as I can."
Are you okay?
Yeah, just had to deal with some locals. And then her end comes out.
I try to reach out with the Force to see if I can feel where she's at.
Oh,
Let's see.
hello
That's
there.
a thing I can do now.
I heard this on the comm too because we're all on the same.
Yeah.
See?
I can reach out with the Force.
You sure can. Go ahead and roll your sense. Let me see
right.
where my Star Wars book is.
An 8.
Ooh.
I'm gonna. And you know what?
Oh.
I'm gonna use a character point because I still got a bunch after I leveled up.
Oh.
I'm gonna add a little character point to that.
Roll the night.
Actually, I'm gonna roll 2 character points. How about that?
Use my now that I need it because everybody has fucking force powers. I pull out my Tales of the Jedi book.
Oh, I got a 16.
Ooh, ooh.
Because I rolled an 8 on 2 character point dice.
Okay. All right. So, your close relatives. So, as far as the relationship modifier is concerned, there is no difficulty addition. It is very easy to use things on your family members. You're not touching, you're not in line of sight, and she is about 10 kilometers away from you. Within 10 kilometers, rather.
I was gonna say Jesus.
So,
She moves fast. She moves fast in 10-minute conversation.
right? So that's going to be a +7 to your difficulty. You're trying to sense her, so that's life sense.
Does life sense tell me where she's at?
The user can sense how badly wounded, diseased, or otherwise physically disturbed the target is. A target may use a control skill to hide their identity from the Jedi. But basically, you can sense the presence and identity of a specific person from who you are searching.
But I already know who she is.
No, but that's the thing. That you're looking.
Oh.
You can sense the presence and identity of who
got
you're
it.
searching for. So, yeah, I would say that it would tell you in what direction at least she's in.
Okay.
And maybe a rough sense of distance. So,
what's the rough sense of distance?
it's very easy, which is like 1 through 5.
Okay.
So at most you would have to roll a 12, but you rolled an 18. So yes,
16, a
16, a 16. Sorry.
Get it right. Let's get it right, sir.
Yeah. Let me not give you extra points for no reason. You sense that she is fine. She is a little bit stunned. It feels like she might have her adrenaline is spiking right now, but it's also on a downswing.
Okay.
Excuse me. So it might be that she might have gotten into a fight, but she's definitely handled it by now. She is west southwest of you currently, maybe about 1.5 kilometers away. Between 1 and 3.
So it seems like it's that she's fine. It seems like she's at a point where she's calming down, that she's not in aggravation at this point.
Correct.
All right. It seems like something happened, but it seems like she's okay now.
You think we should go check?
She's probably okay.
It is Nella.
She's likely okay.
So the broken blaster?
Yeah, because Will, you said like I don't feel like she's in danger at this point.
Not at all.
Right?
No.
Okay. So yeah, I'm like, yeah, we can keep going. If she needs us, she'll call us. She's about 1.5 kilometers that way.
So she's close by, if anything. And like I said, Nella.
Yeah.
You hear in the comm. Do we go fly over there and help her because she sounds like she's been, breathing heavy. You can hear me, right? With those big ears of yours.
Ding! Now he's making me feel like I need to go check on her. God damn it! I'm like, let's go check on her just to be safe.
We will check on her. You stay where you're at.
Okay. It looks like we're not being used, legs. Let's go back to work.
Why don't we have him scout this fight club for us to see what we're in for if we decide that route?
Talking about Ruldu.
Yeah. He's a brawler, dude. He might even get in there and win some credits for us.
No.
Maybe his face will get messed up and you'll have more to make fun of.
You know that the comm is
Me.
open, yes, and I can hear you.
Oh,
I'm on your side.
so Ruldu, since you heard all that, we need you to check out that underground boxing ring.
Okay, where am I going?
Heading south on the other side of town.
Do you have a name, or do I just like yell out for boxing rings that are underground?
The guy running it is Callix.
Okay.
It's like,
Thank you for at least one of you being competent. And the comm goes dead.
Let's start going, and I go at a brisk pace in the direction
Okay.
of where she's at.
oh, every day that goes by that he opens his mouth, I wonder how you managed to persuade me to bring him along.
It was my charming good looks and demeanor.
Yeah, sure. We'll just go with that.
It takes you a few minutes, especially at a brisk walk, to get to where you sensed her. And you see that she is currently dragging the body of a Republic soldier out into an open warehouse. And if you follow her into the warehouse, you'll see that there's about 4 more just unconscious bodies.
So this doesn't seem good.
Out of trouble, you told us.
She looks at you. There's a tendril of hair that has just kind of come down from her ponytail and in front of her face. She blows it out of the way, and she's just like, look, do as I say, not as I do. Okay? I can't have getting in trouble. I can handle myself, especially when these jerks are all loyal to Callix Maies.
Oh,
Oh,
so that's why there's more Republic presence, because of Callix Maies.
She nods.
So Nella, and I go, sorry, Master, and I like snicker. Excuse me.
Gesundheit.
Just because I know it bugs her, so like
Yeah.
I like a good brother, I'm just like, Master. I mean, sorry, Nella.
Eris.
We have one potential lead, but I don't exactly know the rule book per se of, and I point down to where the lightsaber is. There's a strange tiny winged creature that runs a salvage yard, who says that he can give us information about where Callix Maies is if we get his money that he's owed from a fight club, an underground fight club person that's running it.
We could do that, or you could hold this guy down, and she starts to unbuckle one of the soldiers' helmets.
Oh, sure. And I walk over there.
And she looks up at you, and she's just like, again, this is one of those times where this falls under the do as I say, not as I do, and never use this power on people. And you see she puts her hands on either side of the guy's head, and you can feel her pulling on the force.
Okay.
It's cold, though. It's very reminiscent of when you were abducted by that Sith creature.
I'm kind of taken aback by it.
And immediately the guy's eyes open, and the inhuman scream that comes out of his mouth.
I cover it.
It startles Flid.
I'm gonna go check out on lookout just in case, make sure nobody else heard that.
And
solid idea, Flid. Captain.
You can hear the muffled screaming. This guy is writhing, trying to get you off of him. And after a moment, she lets go. He breathes heavily for a moment and then just goes unconscious. And you can see that there is this inky blackness that has come over her fingertips.
I've felt that before, sister. When I was before, he's not here, so I'm not going to call him master. But Doman Crow tried to shoot me out of the, I guess not out of the sky, but off of the planet.
Some powers are dangerous if used incorrectly, and they can be a gateway to the dark side.
Was it worth it? Did you get anything?
Ask me after I atone for this. But she pushes herself up onto her feet. We need to go to Mos Espa. And she looks at you and she's like, we need to be careful when we get there. Because Maies isn't there, but Volf is. But I also saw a Republic agent that I know. So we might be able to use her to get into the makeshift barracks that they've made for themselves over there.
I'll follow your lead, little sister.
She comes over to you, Flid, and she's like, Captain, if we could head over to Mos Espa.
Callix is over there?
No, but the next best thing is over there. It's one of his lieutenants, Logan Wolf.
I guess we can do that. Have Ruldu taking out the underground pike club in case we can always go with that option as well.
Oh, good. So it'll be a quiet ride.
Pretty much.
I don't remember what that feels like. And she starts to walk towards the ship.
Gonna leave the guards here.
She looks back at you. Yeah. They can't afford to report that they've been bested, especially not by a Jedi. Now they're trying to keep low.
Then let's be on our way.
And it's an easy jump from Mos Eisley to Mos Espa. It's just on the other side of the world. It's not as large, and it's certainly not as hustle and bustle, but Mos Espa definitely has a je ne sais quoi about it. The second you get off the ship, there's odors, there's food, there's laughter, there's a completely different vibe in the city. Whereas Mos Eisley is all business and nefarious kind of clandestine situations going on. Mos Espa looks like it's just a city that is thriving as best as it can, and it is very reflected in how people are handling it. There's music from a nearby bar as you land in one of the larger starports that can accommodate 3 or 4 ships. You are the largest ship in the bay. There is a personal ship off to one side, and there is what you've noticed is a similar Aether Sprite to the one that Nella has. And even coming down off the ramp, she kind of points at it.
When do I get one?
She kind of looks at you. I mean, can you fly one?
Well,
Silas can fly anything.
not with that attitude.
I've never seen you fly anything.
I've dabbled, little sister. I've dabbled.
Yeah, well, next time we're in Coruscant, we'll see how the training course treats you.
Would this be should we be concerned about this one?
I don't recognize the markings. It might be one of the new knights that just got elevated.
By any random chance, do those markings look like the one on the Aether Sprite we left on Bespin?
Similar, but not the same.
Okay.
Look at the other ship, the familiar or anything, the other ship.
Oh, the personal shuttle? Not really.
Yeah, the first one.
It just looks like a pleasure ship. Like a one person kind of like just getting out. It would be the equivalent of a moped, basically. It's just somebody's ride to get out and get some air.
I thought you were gonna give us an Easter egg there or something.
No, man.
I'm spoiled with the Easter eggs.
We already had a Spaceballs reference.
Yeah, come on, bro.
You had a Toydarian. What more do you want, bro?
One of the ships, they're scraping jam off of the receiver. Strawberry.
Yeah, there's a Winnebago in the background. What do you want, bro?
Yeah, bro.
Fine.
I go into the diner and somebody gets an alien that pops out of their chest.
Yeah, and I start singing, "Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime gal." You know, just don't have the special. But yeah, she starts to lead you guys through the streets, and you get to one of the warehouse districts, and you see she kind of tells you to hang back for a second. She unclips the hidden knife that she keeps. She unclipped her lightsaber, and she hands them to you, Silas. And she's like, just in case.
Oh, okay. And I kind of hide it.
She goes over, and you see her motion in a direction, and after a moment, you see one of the doors open, and her hands instinctively go up, and a young woman, human, in a Republic naval officer's uniform. Would you have been taught about the rankings, or is that something that you would have glazed over?
The Republic rankings, I probably wouldn't have cared too much for it.
Okay. So she comes out. She locks eyes on Nella, and then she kind of looks and does a double take, and she's like, "Nella? Nella, is that you?" Nella nods. She's like, "Hello, Adeline. I was in the neighborhood. I felt your presence, and I thought I'd kind of say hello." And she quickly closes the door behind her. "Nella, you can't be here. This is Black Ops." And Nella motions to the two of you to come towards her. And she's like, I know, I understand. I'm just, we were brought in for reinforcements. I'm a knight now, Adeline. This is my student, and that's our pilot. We were told that you have something that needs to get off world, and the young girl, as you approach, she kind of nods. I didn't know we were getting reinforcements. Lieutenant Wolf doesn't tell us much unless it's necessary. It's good to see you, Nella. And hello, and she kind of nods to two of you.
I nod back.
Not bad.
She looks at you, Silas, for a little bit, and then she looks at Nella. Are you only allowed to teach people of the same race? And Nella kind of smiles and like, no. This is just somebody, coincidence, same planet, same track. She's like, oh, all right. Yeah. Where's your ship? I'm sure I can get some soldiers to help with the heavy lifting. And Nella kind of looks at you, Flid.
Cool. That would be me. I with that.
And Nella nods. Here you go. We can help if you need it as well. Just show us to where we need to be. You're doing a good job, Adeline. And Silas can feel the pull on the force that Nella's doing. And you hear, and Flid just hears Adeline. I am doing a good job, aren't I? And she nods, turns around, opens the door, and inside you can see the skeleton of an aether sprite. There are modular pieces of armor that have been pulled off of it and are hanging in the air, kind of where, just above where they would go on the ship itself. There are pieces of engine and weapon systems and shield systems and what looks to be a hyperdrive engine. Having been around Nella so long, both of you know that aether sprites don't have hyperdrive engines. They require the ring assisted jumps. But she goes over to one of the larger crates and she's like, we need this taken back. It's the wrong one. They sent us the wrong one, Nella. This needs to go to Bakura, and they'll have the replacement piece there when you land. You just gotta ask for Jalessa Wiles. At this point, you see a couple of Republic troopers come in the room, and they point at all of you. What's this? Adeline, what are you doing? You know no one's supposed to be here. And immediately Nella kind of steps up. She's like, no, it's fine. We're allowed to be here. I'm a Jedi. And the guard in the back is like, yeah, no, she's fine. She's allowed to be here. She's a Jedi. And you can feel that pull on the Force. But the one in front kind of shakes his head. He's like, no. And he pushes the one behind. She's using mind tricks. And immediately brandishes his blaster rifle.
I loosen my grip on her lightsaber.
Okay.
In case she needs to pull it.
Yep. but we will be starting with initiative.
Ooh.
Oh, shit. Hey,
Remember, it's just a perception roll.
this escalated.
42.
Impossible.
I know. I don't know how that happened because I have 4 dice.
You actually did roll a 42.
I did. On 4 dice. On 4 dice.
Bro,
Oh, wow.
a 6 exploded 5
Dude.
times.
Ah!
Damn.
I was like, no, this is glitched. This is wrong. Because I'm literally rolling 4 dice. Holy shit.
Jesus.
Good
Wait, I
roll.
got a force point, don't I?
You do get a force point. Yes, it is the first heroic roll of the night.
I may have to use it right now because we are surrounded by 50 people.
You're not surrounded by 50 people.
I know.
Nella rolled low. Nella rolled nowhere near a 42.
Who's the master? Show enough.
Am I the prettiest?
Show enough.
Am I the meanest?
Show enough. Might be the baddest low down move this town.
12 for the troopers. Yeah, so as a refresher, since we have not been in combat for almost a month, since I was on the Onyx path for their werewolf 2-shot that they had a couple weeks ago, and we had to be dark last week. Everything happens in reverse order, lowest to highest. Although anyone on the higher spectrum can reset their initiative by dropping themselves to interrupt an action. So we're going to start with Nella. She rolled a 9.
Oh, she was the lowest?
Yeah. And she does pull her lightsaber into her hand. And Flid, I don't think she's used it as often as it was, or as you believe Jedi to use it, but the second that you see the handle fly out of Silas's hand and into hers, and you see that arc of blue energy as it becomes a whole blade length as she kind of brings it out in front of her, it is still a very awe-inspiring moment, I would think, for Flid. But you do feel that she is pulling on the force, and she just kind of holds herself in a position of defensive stance. Next up is the troopers, and the one is going to open fire on her.
Okay, I'm gonna take a shot at his gun. Is it the one that's right in front?
Yeah. So you're going to reset your initiative.
I'm thinking, oh no, but she could probably block it. Let me wait to see what she does.
Okay. So he takes the shot, and he rolled a 1 on the wild die, so that's good for her.
That's the one that was not tricked.
Correct.
Okay.
So now she has activated 3 powers this round, 4 powers this round. 5 minus 6 would leave her with a worthwhile dice pool, but not a great dice pool. Yeah, it's not terrible. It's horrible. She gets shot.
Oh shit.
Uh,
Shoot. Sorry.
It's yep. Poop.
Poop.
Oh, wow. 20 points of damage.
Oh.
If I do one more power, it'd be minus 7 dice. That'll leave me with at negative, so I can't do or dissipate energy. I just gotta soak it. 6 on the wild die, baby.
There we go.
All right, good. Difference of 5. So Nella is wounded once. That brings us to Flid. You've seen Nella get shot. The arc, excuse me. The arc of her blue blade just a little bit too slow, as the blaster just hits her midsection, center of mass.
So that's the only trooper that shot.
That's the only trooper that shot.
Okay.
The other one is still kind of getting his bearings. Adeline is kind of trying to make heads or tails of the situation. But you do hear other troopers kind of responding to the blaster fire. What does Flid want to do?
I pull out my blaster pistol. Pointed at the one that just shot. Like, stand down, soldier. Oh, you do you realize what you just did? You just shot a Jedi Knight. Stand down.
Flid's using his dad voice.
Just shot a Jedi Knight. Let that sink in.
Make a,
No ranking here. They have higher ranking.
make a command roll for me.
I've seen enough Jedi's pull that shit.
Yeah.
Make a command. Stuff. That's stuff.
Command
roll.
That poop.
22.
How much?
22.
22, and it exploded.
Yeah. Damn. You see the one in the back. He's about to level his rifle up at her. Then he lowers it. He's like, "Yo, he's right. What are we doing? This isn't what I signed up for." And the one in front just kind of again shoves him. At least go get reinforcements and make yourself useful, rookie. Adeline goes over to the box, the long rectangular box, tall. It's about 9 feet tall, maybe 8 feet long, and 6 feet deep. She goes over, she inputs her code on the keypad, and as the door opens, you see this mist billow out and start to kind of slither over the ground out from this what must be a cold containment unit. And sitting, or rather standing, in a carbonite shell is what looks to be a strange image to Silas. But it is the one person that could never be hidden or masked or in any way, shape, or form confused by Flid for anyone other than his wife.
Oh.
And
Wait a minute. Hold on. Because
Adeline rushes in and you can hear her just like tapping away at what must be some kind of computer panel that is checking her vitals.
damn.
Well, wait, Will, wouldn't I
Yeah.
have recognized it because of the robot version?
Kind of. To you, it's just another
Okay.
Sullustan, especially given the very Han Solo-esque, yeah,
But he wasn't
pose.
around. He wasn't around for her.
Yeah, that's also true.
I thought I met her when we were the tail end when we were on the planet. But no, okay.
Yeah.
I believe you guys.
Yeah, you were possessed that whole time and left.
Thanks for reminding me of those terrible memories.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's what friends are for.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Dang, that's my wife. What are you doing with my wife?
What now?
yeah. And that brings us to Silas.
And I go, Flid, what? That's her?
Yeah,
Sure, you're sure.
sure last time too, and I had to put her down. But I'm sure that's my wife. Maybe for real this time.
Okay, that's all I needed to know. And I pull out the gun and I shoot the trooper in the head.
What?
The Republic trooper, the one that's still shooting that shot at Nella.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Roll your blaster skill.
Now let me ask you a question, Will.
Sure.
Do I have access to Tipo combat now?
You have had access to People's combat.
No, I did. Well, I didn't before because I didn't have a crystal.
Oh. Excuse me. You could, if you have your lightsaber in one hand and the blaster in the other, you could focus using your lightsaber's crystal because you would have picked it in your. It would have called out to you in your creation process.
Let's do that then.
So, are you activating People's combat and then shooting?
Yes.
Because then you're taking 3 total actions. So that means that your control would roll at -2 die, your sense would roll at -3 die, and then your blaster skill would roll -4 die.
Okay, then I'm not going to do Tipo's combat.
Okay.
I'm going to draw both.
Yep.
But I'm going to just shoot the guy.
Okay. I mean, you have proven that shooting is your bread and butter, so
That's true.
I don't think you need
I'll put the lightsaber away.
Trick shots.
We'll keep yeah. So I'm gonna. So is the other one turning around to go get reinforcements?
I mean, he's backing away, but he would never turn his back on combat.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna shoot. I'm gonna shoot the trooper twice. One in the wiener and one in the head.
Okay. So 2 actions means that your first shot is -2.
Yeah.
Your second shot is -3 dice.
So 25 on the first one.
Oh, this poor guy.
And a 19 on the second one.
They both hit.
Okay.
You just needed to beat a 12.
Oh, okay.
So roll your damage.
So on the first shot, he took 23 with
oh my god.
And then I got a 1 on the wild die in the second one.
How much damage did you do on the second one though?
16.
Oh my god. Yeah, no. The first round of damage you did, I only soaked, I think, like enough to bring it down to a difference of 15, which is one shy of just instant death. So
that was the ween shot.
Yeah, the wiener shot just clean. There's a hole where his peen was. And just burnt flesh for a good foot in any direction. But not like it matters, because the second he bent over to recoil in pain, the top of his head also shares the same hole and burnt mark, and he just kind of collapses down.
Like, go get her. Nella, are you okay?
Give me a control roll, please, Silas.
14.
Okay. The urge, you can just hear the whispers in your mind as there's an urge to just shoot the other guy too. There's that coldness that you have been privy to, and the voice is just like, just stop the other one too at this point. But you manage to fight him off. Nella starts to back up, switching her position, and she kind of leans over so she can look into the big kind of cargo containment that you were supposed to pick up, that you were quote unquote supposed to pick up, and she sees Adeline working at the thing, and she's like, why do you have a Sullustan woman in carbonite? What purpose does this serve for Callix Maies in any way, shape, or form? And you see Adeline kind of look back, and she kind of just shrugs. She's like, I don't know. I just know that I have to keep her alive.
What are you doing with my wife? Is she in carbonite? And I have the blaster pistol not pointed at her.
We might need to move, guys.
Adeline kind of, again, she just shrugs and she's like, I don't know. I just, there's something, it's subliminal. It's inherent. Like I have to take care of her. I don't understand the need or the desire.
Flid, she wants to take care of her. She's not trying to kill her. Are you, Adeline?
She shakes her head no.
Can we get her moved? Can we move?
Yeah, I just need a repulsor sled. Sure.
Where is the repulsor sled?
And she comes out of the box and she points at the opposite end of the warehouse. She's like, any of those three over there will do. And Nella kind of grabs your hand and starts heading in that direction. And she kind of looks back at you, Flid. She's like, I don't need to tell you to protect your wife or Adeline. But do that. We'll get the sled. And as Nella and Silas are at the repulsor sled, she kind of looks over at you. There's very few people that can ingratiate a command like that in somebody's subliminal mind. Somebody with Jedi powers did that to her.
Do you think that's the Aether Sprite that was there?
Maybe.
But for what purpose?
Yeah, what's there to gain by a Sullustan woman being kept?
Unless it has something to do with him.
Who is he? I mean, no offense. I know he's your friend.
He's not just my friend. He's our captain. That being has been through so much. That he has been through things that rival even what I went through trying to find you. This is, I think, the second or third time that he's potentially found his wife. He was given an image, I think, if I remember correctly, not once but twice, of both his children being assassinated. She's everything to him. All he does is talk about her. He was a cook, but he's a captain now. And like you said, he's my friend.
You've seen what was in store for him in the future then, if he was that important. All right, well, let's get this over there then. And as you two start pushing the sled over the large doors on the opposite end of where the Aether Sprite's rear is suddenly blast open, and you see another one of those ATPTs come in. About 9 foot tall, open canopy. There's a Republic soldier in there, and there's 6 other Republic soldiers right behind it that are coming in, weapons drawn. And she kind of turns on the repulsor lift engines to full blast, and then just kind of pushes the sled towards him, and then starts to turn towards the ATPT, and you see her kind of climb up onto the dismantled Aether Sprite. And she looks back at you. Get her out of here, then. I'll try to buy you some time.
Wait, I can't lose you again. And I try to take a shot. Like I'm talking to her and I take a shot.
Roll your blaster skill.
28.
28. Okay. The 5th one down the line, it just kind of stops and trains his gun on her, and then this blaster shot just comes out of nowhere and hits him right in the throat. And you see him just collapse backwards.
And I don't even look. I'm just like,
yeah.
I can't lose you again. Bah!
Bam! And then you hear the thud.
Yeah.
This is why you had a bar named after you. But yeah, the repulsor lift sled is just on its own because of the momentum. It will slide over towards Flid, so you don't have to chase it if you don't want to. You could stand your ground with her if you wanted to. She's on top of the Aether Sprite, and she's got the attention of the ATPT, and you see that it just opens fire. Just goes, the 2 heavy cannons just go plam plam, and the heavy bolts. This time, you do see that she manages to deflect both of them. Each one kind of knocks her back a few inches, though, with every impact. The other 5 troopers that are still left, one of them, the one next to the guy that got shot, just kind of like stops, cocks his head in your direction, and just kind of like starts to shake his head like, this is not what I got paid for. And
I'm cool, man. I'm cool,
man. There's a real moment of doubt happening with him, and he's kind of like, he's not gonna act this round, but the other 4 are definitely gonna shoot at you, Flid, and really just you and Flid. You're the only ones that are out in the open.
Okay.
So you get 2 shots each.
My shot was, I guess, for the new round?
No, I'll say it was for the round before.
Okay, because I'll try to interrupt if I see one of them trained on Flid. I'm gonna try to I'm gonna try to take a shot. Why? I can do my action, right? So I can take 2 shots.
Yeah, if you're interrupting, you're resetting your initiative to right before the trooper, so you'll be going on 11 from now on.
Yeah.
And so you see 2 of the troopers train their rifles towards Flid. 2 of them train them towards you, kind of like following your run. And you can see that Flid is just kind of waiting for this repulsor lift sled to get to him. You said you want to shoot one of them?
I'm gonna shoot the 2 that are aiming at Flid.
Okay. So 2 shots means that your first actions are gonna be at a -2. 1. Right?
Oh, okay, 1.
Yeah, because you get 1 for free. And so the first one's -1, and then the second one's -2.
So 32 for the first one?
Because you don't have any force powers up yet.
Not yet.
Okay, so yeah, so it's -1.
So 32 and 18.
32 and 18. Yeah, even with a high roll like this, I cannot beat 32. So you hit that guy. Oh my god. Now I rolled the exact opposite. And you hit the other guy. You hit both of them. What are your damage?
12 and 11.
Gunslinger.
Oof. 1 on the wild die, so that's terrible for him. Nowhere near 11. You see the first one that trained his gun on Flid takes another blaster bolt to like right where that little V is at the base of the neck and where the chest begins. It just falls over. The other guy takes a shot about stomach and kind of collapses onto his knee, but does manage to misfire and not shoot Flid. The guy that was in the back that saw his friend get shot and now has seen another person get shot in the throat just puts his gun down and he's he's like, nope, I didn't see anything. And he starts to just kind of back away towards the other what's it called, the warehouse that they're using, that looks like they're using, and you can see some other Republic troopers that are kind of putting on their armor, that they're kind of suiting up to come in here.
Flid, any day now.
Start running towards the repulsor lift, and I get on the comms. Drox, need home in on our single. We're gonna need an emergency evac. Tap.
So you got it, Captain. Are you gonna try to dodge the shots that are being?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanna try to dodge.
So you're -2 to your first dodge and -3 to your second dodge.
Okay, I got a 10 on the first dodge.
Okay, so you get hit.
And a 13 with a 6 on the wild die.
Ooh, yeah, you dodged the second one. Fucking horrible rolls. So you take one shot.
Okay.
Do you have any armor? No, right?
No, I'm just in my outfit.
Okay.
I don't think I ever got armor.
Yeah. So it's just your strength because you also don't have absorb display energy. One on the wild die. Yeah. So roll your strength to soak. Remember that you can use character points, up to 5 character points for soaking.
Yeah, let me use. I'm gonna use 4.
I will tell you that you probably only need 1.
Oh, okay.
Depending on what you roll.
Well, let's do 2 then, just in case.
Okay.
So I got 18.
Yep, exactly what you needed.
Oh, perfect.
So
I'm glad I rolled 2 dice then.
So you take the blaster bolt, dead center of mass, and you manage to kind of shrug off the major effects of getting shot. You are stunned. You're considered stunned for the next round.
Okay.
So you will be at a -1 die penalty automatically. But Nella, you see, she kind of looks over in your direction the second you let out whatever groan of pain or noise. And she again, get Flid and get his wife out of here. I can handle this. And you see she starts to pull on the force, and part of the roof starts to collapse down. And it does knock out one of the guys that shot you. But the ATPT pilot kind of scooches forward, and instead of shooting, you see that it raises its big robotic kind of chicken leg and pushes on the Aether Sprite, knocking it off of its cradle, and it sends her tumbling to the ground. Two more guards can be seen kind of rushing towards and one of them is stopped by the guy who and he's just pointing into the thing and just shaking his head, points at his neck. He's like, listen, no.
No.
So he manages to stop one of them. The other guy does come running in.
I'm gonna rush to Flid and grab the cart.
Yep, both of you are now at the cart then.
And I'm gonna do whatever it is we need to do to help get the thing on.
Okay. Can I make it go faster or something? Because I got repulsor lift ops.
You can. There is a small handle, like a little control console, to kind of operate it. So,
can I assist him?
I mean, it's a one person. console.
Okay, I didn't know if it was like D&D where I could give him like an assist because I
No,
also have repulsor.
yeah. If it was big enough for 2 people, yeah, but it's just like a little
Okay.
joystick and
Okay.
a small data pad.
Ooh, a 9 and no, I'm gonna use character points.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna use 2 character points.
Oh, two whole character. I mean, yeah, that's the most you can use. What you got? Oh, wow. It's been a while since you've used. It's been a while since you've had to use repulsor lift engine. Anything with a repulsor lift, actually. And as Silas is pushing you towards the crate, you start to kind of like move the joystick around at the wrong angle, and you hit dirt hard. And the whole front end just kind of hits and starts to skid, and it takes you a moment to kind of pop it back up. But you have lost what feels like a round that you could have used to get her onto this thing.
Okay. I was like, let me try. What's your repulsor lift at?
It's at 4.
Oh, you have more than I do. I'm at 3.
I still failed.
Yeah, 4 die plus 1, bro, and he rolled the 9.
I'm just out of curiosity. No, see, I would have gotten less. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you can hear the sound of metal churning against metal as more of this roof is being pulled down by Nella. The Aether Sprite is also kind of being used by her. Like her lightsaber is still ignited, but she has a very loose grip on it. You can see that she is kind of maybe only using her pointer and her thumb to hold it. She's got the other 3 fingers extended outward, her whole hand extended outward, and she is just trying to silently command this force-induced orchestra to do her bidding. And some of the guards are just kind of flying around, trying not to get hit by debris. The shooting has kind of been cut in half. The only real big shooting that you hear is the ATPT. You can hear those heavy kind of thumps as it's trying to destroy as much of this Aether Sprite to get to Nella. But she is using it and turning it in so many ways just to get some kind of shielding out of it. But it takes the 2 of you and Adeline about 3 rounds to get aim onto this repulsor lift sled. And at that point, you do hear Drox on the comms. I should be there in a couple of minutes. I had to pick up Ruldu. He just would not shut up.
Now, Drox, now.
And you just hear in the comms, "It's okay. He picked me up. I'm coming."
Adeline, is there a back way out of here?
She shakes her head and she kind of points at the trooper. She's like, "That's the back way. The only other way is the way we came in, which is through this sliding door over here."
All right, let's go. Let's move.
Nella.
Yeah. And as you start to push Flid and Adeline and aim out through the door, you can see Nella has backed up towards the group, and then there's that heavy moment, that dreaded moment where you hear the double impact of the ATPT's heavy cannons, and the Aether Sprite is just shattered into several pieces. And it just comes down. Nella drops to one knee, having exerted herself past her kind of normal boundaries. And you can see that even with that heavy breath, she kind of pulls herself up onto her feet. She takes that dramatic Jedi defensive stance, and there's a serene moment where you just see 5 different blaster bolts just flying in her direction. And in one arc of blue light, you see 4 of them ricocheted off of her lightsaber. The 5th one hits her in the arm, and she lets out a scream. Flid, Aim, and Adeline are on the other side of this rolling door. People are screaming at the sound of blaster fire out in the streets beyond. You can hear just the heavy roar of the engine that you've just gotten accustomed to, and you can see your ship barreling down from the sky from a westerly direction. You've got 12 troopers now. And from what looks to be a repulsor lift sled that's about 6 feet, 7 feet off the ground, Logan Wolf, who for sure Silas remembers, you see that Gesundheit, he is taking a knee, he's got his sniper rifle out, and he's got it trained on Nella. And then you see that dark green, sickly color of his blaster rifle fire. What color is Silas's lightsaber as it ignites in his hand?
It's yellow with blue tints in the blade.
You don't remember when you pulled it. You don't even remember unfastening the safety. But there's a yellow glow that comes over the doorway over Silas's left side.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just these tendrils of blue that writhe in the middle of the blade at the emitter disc. They almost seem to dance along the engraving on the emitter plate. And then with a heavy hit that just forces you to take a step back, you are in front of Nella, the blade in front of you, and just that heavy ricochet as the green sickly bolt goes flying off in a direction that isn't at Nella. What do you guys want to do?
You said that they're on the other side of the door?
Yep.
So I ricochet the bolt to hit the control panel so the door drops.
Make a sense roll.
Can I use character points for that?
You can use up to 2.
Okay.
When you ricochet a bolt, you are allowed to roll sense, a blaster skill, to try and control where it goes.
So I got a 7 plus I used the character point, 2 character points, and I got 9 more.
16 is enough to hit an inanimate object. And there's a moment where Flid sees Nella and Silas standing side by side. One blue lightsaber, one yellow lightsaber, almost in a cross formation, because she is using it right-handed, he is using it left-handed. And as the yellow blade comes down to rest against his sister's blue, the green bolt comes flying backwards, hits the control panel that controls the door.
As it hits, though, Will, I pull the gun out from my holster.
It's still in your hand.
Oh, it's still in my hand.
Yeah.
I look back at Flid, and I just give him a wink, and I throw the gun through the door.
And you see just this blaster pistol that has never left Silas's side slide through the dirt, and as it hits your foot, there's a heavy thump of this mechanical door coming to rest. The ship comes in with a heavy gust of wind as the ramp is lowered. You can see some of the street denizens kind of running for cover. Ruldu has the safety cable attached to his belt, and he kind of leans out. And as he sees the package that you are bringing, he kind of looks down and he's like, "Why is there more of you? This wasn't in my contract." But he helps you bring AIM up onto the ship, and then he calls back, "They're on! Get out of here!" And the ramp starts to close, and the ship starts to skyrocket into the sky as you see what looks to be Republic fighters coming up out of other warehouses and giving chase. But for the first time...
By the way, I picked up that blaster pistol.
Yeah, I hope so.
God, I fucking hope so. Sorry, I didn't mean to cuss, but
yeah.
No. I picked it up. It up. I tried to get on the comms, and I just couldn't get the words out. Silas.
Yeah. For the first time in maybe a long time, you see Barnaby come up to you and kind of look around expectantly. And then after a moment, you see it kind of stop, stand up straight, like something has been switched inside of him. And then the projector lens shows you a hologram of Silas.
Well, Captain Flid, if you're seeing this message, that means my far-seeing actually worked. Nella's going to be mighty shocked that it did. I couldn't tell you what I'd seen because, well, to be frank, you're the type of person that would do anything in their power to stop it. That's the funny thing about you, Captain Flid. You always seem to care about everyone else's well-being, but not your own. It's one of the many things I grew to love about you. I know how much you care for your wife and kids, and I would be damned if you didn't get that happy ending you deserved, especially if I could have a hand in it. I never got the chance to fall in love, but I reckon you could love someone for the both of us. Hold her close, Flid, and protect her with your life. I need you to do me a favor. Take care of Barnaby for me. He is loyal, and he's been a wonderful friend to me, as I know he will be to you. Never underestimate that little droid's abilities. Flid, never second guess your station as captain. You earned that title, and you have every right to hold it. Keep your head high, and keep flying true, even when times seem tough. I'm sure you will get the hand of that new vessel in no time. The Winchester isn't an awful name for a ship, if I do say so myself. Send the rest of the old crew my regards if you ever cross paths with them again. And work together. We were always strongest when we worked together. Well, I guess this is sayonara, Captain. He stands at attention. Thank you for accepting me into your family, albeit dysfunctional. It reminded me of what I had lost when my sister was taken. Oh, one last thing. Make sure you polish Clementine at least every few days or so. She might get fussy if you don't. And he points two finger guns at the camera, and then the camera shuts off.
I won't accept this, Barnaby. Silas, come in. Silas. Let's come in. And Silas. Drops to the floor in tears, holding Clementine.
There's just silence. There's no response. Barnaby slumps down with a sad beep. And as Adeline, Ruldu kind of leave you in the cargo hold with Aim and Barnaby, this is where we'll end today's episode. I want to thank all of you for being with us tonight. Again, like I said, we are helping the McStabber Studios with their National Breast Cancer Foundation fundraising Gain Pink initiative. So if you can, please consider donating. I'm putting up a link in our Twitch chat right now, so you can get to that. As always, please continue to wear your mask, continue to wash your hands, continue to keep your distance. And if you haven't gotten vaccinated, please get yourself vaccinated. We're still not out of the woods yet. We're in a better place than we were a year ago, but still, if you can, please do. And as always, if you ever find yourself needing to talk to somebody, please understand that it is okay to not be okay, and that mental health is something that should not be hidden behind a stigma or a taboo subject. Please get the help that you need. There are phone numbers in our Twitch chat right now that can help you with just finding the right person to just hear you out if you need it. If you're not in the Americas, there's a link going up as well, so you can find help in your neck of the woods, wherever that may be. And if you are a friend or family member of somebody that is a strong personality or happy-go-lucky personality, please check in on them. You know, it costs nothing to just send a "Hey, how are you?" text, or a little video chat check in on them, see how they're doing, see what they're up to, and because you never know what could change the trajectory of somebody's life. So, but as always, I am excited to see where the story goes. I will see you on Monday for our Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle, or on Tuesday as we start our new schedule of revolving games. This Tuesday will be our first of many Werewolf the Wild West game. Next Friday will be our Star Wars Out in the Dark, but it will start to switch places with another game, and I will announce that next week. So please keep each other safe, look after each other, take care of each other, and I will see you when I see you.